Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dennis and welcome back to 1 Year 365. 7 days left until this entire series is gone or finished. And today, this is episode 358. Out of 365, we're again a week away from the entire series to be finished. And at the time of recording this, it's still rainy season. You can kind of hear in the background. There's the thunder sound. But when this video is out, it's already been in the middle of summer, and yeah, it's kind of insane if you ask me. This video is actually created like 2 months ago at this point. So yeah, actually more than 2 months ago. Like I think 2 months and a week ago. So yeah, there's that. Um, Today we'll actually talk about something that is that I've been talking about in the earliest episodes, I guess. And today, and what is that? Well, it's about survival. I made a lot of videos. I think about like basic things you need during post-apocalyptic events, like like what happen if certain apocalyptic events happen, what do you need, how to survive, what basic needs you need, etc, etc. And today I'm gonna give you the final tips on how to survive post apocalyptic event. And the last tip for that is that you don't, unfortunately, the last tip to survive during apocalyptic event is you don't survive. And I know that is a little bit anticlimactic or maybe climactic for some people. Maybe you can think it that way. But what I mean for that is that we're talking about something that is very, something that is very affecting in the world. And, we're talking about realistic speaking here, realistically speaking. Um, I actually had this idea not long ago, inspired by someone else. When they basically said that what happened if you're in zombie apocalypse. Well, they just answered, well, I feel like I'm gonna die first. Like, I mean, realistically speaking. So they said that, and it kind of clicked to me that actually that might not be wrong. That might actually be true. Like, if you watch these kind of movies, like about zombie apocalypse or outbreak or something, they always watch as the point of view of the main character. How the main character survive like an attack, for instance, or survive a disease or something. And it's because they are literally the main character. Or even if they got hit or got disease, they will be cured, or they will be able to cure that, or recover from that. But again, that is the point of view of main character. And now the thing is that that is just movie, right? Like, there's this, the main character will survive because that is how the story works. Like, that's how the story of the movie works. Like, you just walk through the main character until, from the beginning until the end. If the main character dies in the middle, then the story ends. And that is not really how it works. But the thing is, this is not movie, this is reality. And um let's think about it this way. Like, let's think about the basic apocalyptic events. Like, for instance, zombie apocalypse. This is in your neighborhood. Suddenly, someone acted very weirdly. They went frenzy, and they start biting people, and then they got infected, they got crazy, they infected more people, and then you're just there in your neighborhood. Like, what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna hide inside your house, yes, but for how long? Like, again, for how long? You will need basic needs like food, water, and stuff like that. You probably think it's better to hide. Just hide your house, just hide inside your house. Maybe a few days up from there, some people will actually try to rescue you. But here's the thing, who's gonna rescue you? Like, what in the world are you thinking about that some random people will actually try to rescue you, you know? Like, no way you're that important, right? No way I am that important. So, like for instance, me hiding in my house, like literally, locking the door, the front door, the back door, all the windows closed. Maybe I managed to put up some boards, close the fences, gates, etc., etc. I just hide there, like I'm just waiting. But waiting for who? Like, is there really anyone's gonna suddenly, use helicopter, try to sort of, rescue you? I feel like the chance for that is gonna be zero because if you think about this, post-apocalyptic events, like apocalyptic events, it happens in the world, it happens everywhere. So what are the chance that you are, what are the chance that I am more important than, let's say, some other people that are maybe more wealthy, more like really, like even if you are very wealthy, I feel like you will be able to prioritize yourself, perhaps, no idea if that's true or not. Maybe like people up there in the governmental, like a position, like we are just not as important as them. So I don't think we will actually be rescued. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna die of starvation in your hiding spot? Well, no, you're probably gonna try to go out, right? And but the questions go where, you go out and then some random zombies gonna notice you and then you will get taken. And even if you are stealthy, how are you gonna move from one place to another place? Like, where are you gonna find your resource? Like, the nearest grocery store, for instance. Like, do you really think it's not already been raided by people? Do you really think it's even safe to go there? Like, how are you gonna try to fight all of the zombies all at once? I feel like it might work in movie. The main character will always survive, but if it's in real life, I feel like we're all gonna die anyway. So yeah, it's like really, we don't survive because it's realistically speaking, I feel like no one will ever be safe. So yeah, this is how it is. Now, if you are like already been, maybe you are actually working on, grocery store, when this entire thing happened, maybe you are working on the grocery store, you're working there, and then suddenly, like the thing happened, like you managed to close the gate with some other people, like how long do you think you will be surviving, right? Like how long really do you think you'll survive? Like there's gonna be other people over there that tries to get in, maybe they try to break the window and they actually manage to break the window, and the zombie chased this person and the person gets inside and you're no longer safe, and yeah, I feel like it's also come to a mind where now that's the part of humanity, right? Like it's the part of the egotistical of human will kick in because everyone will just try to um, survive for themselves, and yeah, they will do anything just to survive. So they will risk other people just so that they can survive, and yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Some random people will just do stupid things and they will get you in trouble, and yeah, there is nothing you can do as well. You can probably do something like try to hold them, but to what point you will be able to defend fully. So yeah, realistically speaking, I don't think anyone will ever survive. Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Even if somehow you magically, like get yourself shielded in this building, grocery store, you have food, you have everything. Like how are you gonna survive as humanity, right? Like human, like as human, where how are you gonna preserving human race? Like yeah, that's like the biggest question. Like you need to continue the human race, which means that you need to reproduce and stuff like that. And what happen if you're alone? What happen if you're not gonna be able to survive for that long? Like what are you gonna do? Like literally, are you gonna continue human race inside this box over here? No, right? You will need to go outside. But outside is not safe, and how are you gonna do that? And there is no one else that's gonna help you. Like really, there's no one's gonna rescue you. So yeah, it's just the reality. It's just the truth. So yeah, um, like maybe we can also think about some other stuff, like maybe outbreak or maybe like natural disaster, like 2012 type of situation. This kind of stuff as well. And I feel like most of people will not make it, and only like those that really try hard, that really show the bad side of human, they might actually survive. By sacrificing other just so that they can survive. Yeah, like this kind of stuff, right? You cannot already probably tell from the movies as well, and yeah, I feel like if anything, that is probably the most realistic thing that will happen. That human will show their ego, like the nature of human as an animal. It will show really. So yeah, I mean, the thing is that we don't actually have to wait until post-apocalyptic event to happen. It already happens now anyway in our current times. Like we will just gonna people everywhere just think about themselves. They rarely care about each other. Even if they do, there's something else behind that. Like there's an agenda between them, trying to do that. So I feel like we're already messed up. Like with our current society. And yeah, we don't need post-apocalyptic thing to happen. If it does happen, well, the last tip is that no, you will not survive, unfortunately, and that's just the truth. And yeah, that really got me, like thinking. Because of that, actually, someone said like that, like they got questioned basically by someone else, like, what's gonna happen if they are in a post-apocalyptic or zombie outbreak? Like, what are they gonna do? Well, they try to answer that as a joke at first, like thinking about that, I feel like, I'm not gonna survive. I'm not gonna make it. And yeah, that answer actually got me thinking real hard. Like, all right, it's actually true. That's actually not wrong. I feel like, um, I feel like if it actually happens, I can most certainly guarantee that no one is actually surviving. And yeah, that is the end of the era of human, and yeah, there is nothing else that you can do. So yeah, there you go. I know it's a little bit sad. Just to wrap up things, basically from the earliest episodes, I think I did make like 3 or 4 videos, I think, about survival thing, like what are you gonna do during apocalyptic events, like basic things or basic needs that you will need. I said something like, water, food, etc. It's true, you need those, but how long can you survive those, right? That is the most important question. Like, how are you gonna maintain yourself to be physically healthy and also mentally healthy as well in those situations? I feel like it's gonna be difficult. Um, we can also think about like radioactive nuclear. Like that is like probably the most severe one. Like, how are you gonna get clean water? Like with this kind of nuclear stuff, it's gonna get carried by the wind. It's gonna carried by the rain. It's gonna mix everything. Every body water. It's gonna be mixed, contaminated with that. No water's gonna be safe. And I feel like it's really it's not gonna be fine for you, right? How are you gonna get food if the food's contaminated? How are you gonna get water if all the water has been, in the contact of the radioactive substance? I feel like that is, already messed up, right? So yeah, that is like the easiest, thing where no one's gonna survive. But yeah, it is what it is. Well, I guess we just hope that none of those will actually happen. like maybe alien invasion. I hope those never happens. Like Earth, like geological disaster, like global disaster. I do hope that's never gonna happen. Zombie outbreak, it sounds silly, it sounds very fictive, but what happen if it is actually possible, but it's in another form, but it's not zombie, but it's something else, that might actually happen. So yeah, I do hope those also never happens in the first place. And yeah, I guess just live your life today. Yeah, I guess this is the reality. So yeah, but anyway, I think that for this one, let me know if you think that we actually do still have some hope, but in my opinion though, I feel like the survivability will be close to zero. Like, like you watch your family probably, seized, got taken by the zombies, and now they're themselves, turning into zombies. Your friends, your relative, you have no one, all your beloved people, they already got taken down. And I feel like that will actually already put some scar in someone's mental. I feel like, that already will drop someone's mental, like very low, that they're just being hopeless at that time, right? So yeah, it's very difficult, like realistically speaking, it's gonna be very difficult. But if you only think about it rationally, yes, it's probably easy to survive those kind of situation. But that is not the reality, right? The reality is that you will feel more shook. I mean, you will be very shook that that actually happens. You have no one, everyone else that's surviving, they will compete against you just so that they can survive. You are feeling threatened by both the zombies or whatever that is, outbreak or something. But you also get like a haunted by other people as well, your own people, your own race, that they are actually trying to compete against you in the name of survivability. So yeah, but anyway, I think for this one, 7 days until the entire series is gone. Yeah, that is literally the last tip, really. The last tip to survive during post-apocalyptic event is you don't, because it's hard, it's difficult, that you just don't survive. That's like the easiest thing. Yeah, really, that's the reality. So yeah, but anyway, I think over this one, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay just healthy. I will see you again tomorrow on day 359. That is in 6 days left for tomorrow, but for now, 7 days left, and until tomorrow, see ya.